Defense spending will be in the headlines this week as Keir Starmer races to Paris for crisis talks over Ukraine. Sir Keir Starmer is reportedly set to overrule Rachel Reeves by calling for increased military spending in a bid to boost support for Ukraine. The Prime Minister will scramble to Paris on Monday for emergency talks with European counterparts after the US heaped pressure on the continent to bolster its support for war-torn Ukraine. Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds said the need for increased defense spending is widely recognized, including by Ms. Reeves. He said, "The whole cabinet, the whole government, I think most people in this country recognize the pressures the world is under, recognize more will have to be spent on defense. Now the spending review will set out the roadmap towards that target. The Chancellor will set out the multi-year plan for public spending on June 11th, which is expected to set out how the UK will increase the share spent on defence to 2.5% of the size of the economy, although it is not yet clear when that. But the government is under pressure from defence chiefs to go further, and NATO's Secretary-General Mark Rutte has suggested the alliance must set a target to spend at least 3% of gross domestic product. The Chancellor knows more than most people the pressures on public services across the board, but defence has to be the cornerstone of our national prosperity as well as our security, Mr. Reynolds said. There's a whole range of things the UK does. Our contribution to the intelligence services, for instance, should be considered, I think, as part of that contribution to collective Western security. It comes as David Lammy warned the Chancellor that defence spending may need to treble to Cold War levels if Russia is allowed to win in Ukraine. Sir Keir is expected to overrule his Chancellor and call for increased defence spending in a bid to woo Donald Trump before he flies to Washington to meet the president.